You've probably heard the shocking claim that we each consume a credit card's worth of plastic every single week. It sounds unbelievable, almost like a scare tactic. But the truth is, as scientists dig deeper into this mystery, they're discovering the reality is just as alarming, if not more so. Tiny, invisible plastic particles are making their way into our food, our water, and even the air we breathe. And the most disturbing part? The danger isn't just about the plastic itself, it's about the chaos these particles are unleashing inside our bodies, disrupting our hormones, and potentially fueling some of the biggest health crises of our time. For decades, plastic has been celebrated as a miracle material. Strong, lightweight, and incredibly convenient, it's shaped nearly every aspect of our modern lives. But there's a dark side to this success story. Plastic never fully disappears. It just breaks down into smaller and smaller pieces, eventually becoming what scientists now call microplastics. These fragments, less than 5 millimeters across, many invisible to the naked eye, are now everywhere. They're in our soil, our rivers, our oceans, and yes, even floating in the very air inside our homes. And here's where things get truly wild. Recent research has found these microscopic invaders inside human blood, placentas, breast milk, and even our arteries. This isn't science fiction. It's happening right now. Let's start with the basics. Microplastics are created when larger pieces of plastic, think water bottles, food wrappers, or even the fibers from your favorite fleece sweater, break down over time. They're also manufactured intentionally for products like face scrubs and toothpaste. And because they're so tiny, they slip through filters and escape into the environment. From there, they infiltrate everything: the salt you sprinkle on your dinner, the seafood on your plate, the bottled water you drink, and even the dust in your living room. In fact, some estimates suggest that you could be consuming or inhaling over 121,000 microplastic particles every year without ever realizing it. But microplastics aren't just passing through our bodies harmlessly. Their unique structure makes them like tiny sponges, soaking up other environmental toxins, heavy metals, pesticides, and industrial chemicals. So when you ingest or inhale them, you're not just getting plastic, you're getting a cocktail of pollutants delivered straight to your organs. Recent studies have confirmed their presence in our lungs, liver, and even our most intimate tissues, like placentas and testes. Alarming? Absolutely. But it gets worse. The real danger, scientists are learning, is how these microplastics interact with our body's chemistry. Plastics are loaded with additives called endocrine-disrupting chemicals, or EDCs. These are substances like BPA and phthalates that can mimic, block, or scramble the hormone signals that control everything from metabolism and immunity to mood and reproduction. Think of your endocrine system as the body's master control board. If something starts flipping the wrong switches or pulling the wrong levers, the consequences can be catastrophic. Here's where things take a truly disturbing turn. Research published in the New England Journal of Medicine in 2024 found that 58% of patients undergoing surgery for blocked arteries had plastic particles embedded in their arterial plaque. Even more frightening, those with plastic in their arteries faced a much higher risk of heart attacks, strokes, or even death. Scientists believe these microplastics may trigger inflammation and oxidative stress, two processes linked to nearly every major chronic disease, from heart failure to diabetes to cancer. But the hormonal chaos unleashed by EDCs may be even more sinister. These chemicals are believed to play a major role in the global infertility crisis. Over the past 40 years, sperm counts in Western countries have plummeted, and reproductive disorders in both men and women are on the rise. Researchers have started to connect the dots. Microplastics, loaded with EDCs, are showing up in testicular tissue, ovarian fluid, and even in every single placenta tested in a recent study. In animal research, exposure to these substances has led to lower sperm counts and disrupted reproductive cycles. And while scientists are still unraveling exactly how this plays out in humans, the evidence is mounting that our invisible plastic problem is sabotaging our ability to have healthy children. The threat doesn't stop with fertility. Because EDCs can hijack hormone pathways, they're also being investigated for their role in hormone-sensitive cancers. Breast, prostate, and testicular cancers all depend on hormones to grow. And when the body's natural hormone signals are scrambled by plastic-derived chemicals, the risk of these cancers could increase. Studies have even shown that microplastics may cause healthy cells to behave abnormally, potentially setting the stage for cancer to develop. So, what can you do to protect yourself and your loved ones from this invisible threat? While it's almost impossible to eliminate microplastics entirely from your life, there are practical steps you can take to dramatically reduce your exposure. First, rethink your kitchen habits. Never microwave food in plastic containers. The heat causes chemicals to leach directly into your meal. Switch to glass, ceramic, or stainless steel storage containers, and use wood or bamboo cutting boards instead of plastic. Even chopping vegetables on plastic can release thousands of microplastic fragments into your food. Next, overhaul how you drink water. Single-use plastic bottles are a massive source of microplastics. Just opening or twisting the cap can release hundreds of particles. Invest in a high-quality water filter or water ionizer and a reusable stainless steel or glass bottle. It's one of the simplest ways to cut down on your plastic intake. Don't forget about the air you breathe. Microplastics are a major component of household dust. By vacuuming regularly with a HEPA filter and mopping your floors, you can capture many of these particles before they end up in your lungs. Choosing clothes made from natural fibers like cotton or wool instead of polyester also reduces the number of plastic fibers shed in your home. Finally, become a label detective. Choose fresh, unpackaged foods whenever possible to avoid plastic packaging. Check personal care product labels for ingredients like polyethylene or polypropylene and steer clear. Even plastic tea bags can release billions of particles in a single cup, so switch to loose-leaf tea or paper tea bags. Remember, you don't have to be perfect. Every small change you make helps reduce your overall toxic load. Share what you've learned with friends and family. The more people who take action, the bigger the impact we can have, both for our own health and for the future of the planet. The microplastic crisis isn't just an environmental issue, it's a human health emergency. We are only beginning to understand the long-term consequences of living in a world flooded with invisible plastics. But we don't have to be powerless. Every choice you make to reduce your exposure is a step toward reclaiming your health. Start today. Your future self will thank you.